Hello and Assalamualaikum to my panels. My name is Ammar Sofi bin Zamzuri Ariffin, matrix number AE190061, now representing for my final year project 1, which titled as Development of a MATLAB Application for Evaluating the Performance of Photovoltaic System. So for the introduction that consists of background of study, as you know that in recent years, climate change is one of the most pressing issues across the world. So the establishment of non-conventional energy such as photovoltaic represent the largest contribution among all renewable sources. This is due to abundant source which we can get easily, and also the materials employed in photovoltaic panels are those capable of absorbing photons and emitting electrons that makes photovoltaic panels can directly convert it sun radiation into electricity. Why does this research is being conducted? This is due to two problem statements, which is the first one is photovoltaic system output is depending on the sun ray where it will eventually be affected in its performance evaluation. This is due to inconsistency of photovoltaic panel input values. So the inconsistency of photovoltaic panel input values is due to the varies of temperature of solar panel and also the irradiance of solar panel, this is due to the weather of surrounding. And for the second problem statement, which is the computational calculation in analyze photovoltaic system performance is complex and involves many data and steps that can lead to unwanted error, such as systematic error, random errors, and also blunders. It can also be seen from the decimal places when we do a calculation using a computational method, which is the final value will depends on the number of decimal places taken. So for the objective of this project, we have three objectives, which is for the first one is to develop an application by using MATLAB software that will be used to evaluate the performance of photovoltaic system. Other than that, it can also to analyze the performance of the PV system using computational method. And for the last one, which is to evaluate the performance of the developed application by comparing the result from MATLAB application and the computational method. So for scope of this study, we have two scopes, which is the first one is the performance evaluations applications of photovoltaic system will be designed by using MATLAB software. And the second one, the evaluation also will be using computational method and simulation method, which is by using the GUI platform on MATLAB software. So for the literature review, where for this research has been conducted by making and review a past research, which is we have three past research. As you can see here, the first one is a graphical user interface, or known as GUI, based on method for designing a mini hydropower, which is this paper basically try to do a model-based decision support system that can be used to enhance system performance. And also it can be utilized to design energy system with desirable design and operational characteristic using GUI platform. Other than that, GUI PV application tool for teaching performance of PV system using MATLAB GUI environment paper also has been reviewed, which the objective is by making a two GUI for this project, which is for the first one is PV module specs with functions was to research the properties of PV modules, and the other one is to analyze the performance of PV module, which was created using changeable temperature and solar radiation data. And for the last research paper is factors affecting the PV-based power generation, which is for this paper, it states that the power generation for PV is due to various causes, which is such as solar angle, tracking system, shading, and dust. But the major element in reduction of PV cells efficiency is due to temperature. And so moving on to the methodology, is for this project, the methodology flowchart can be seen as here, which is first we do a literature review about performance of photovoltaic system. And after that, we did a data collection of photovoltaic system. And next, we designed using computational method. And after that, we do a calculation for performance of photovoltaic system. And we design the application system using the MATLAB software. And after that, we do a comparison result between computational and MATLAB method. And for the last one, we analyze the result. We do an analysis and discussion for the result that we get. So as for the photovoltaic system model, this is the picture on how the photovoltaic system looks like for this project, which is consists of solar panel, inverter, BMS, and also the battery bank. Which is the inverter for this project use is the hybrid inverter, and also the BMS function as a battery system management for manage the battery bank. For the preparation of collecting data for photovoltaic system, the equipment for taking the data is very crucial, which is, as you can see, we have two equipment that we use, which is for the first one is pyrometer and also the solar irradiance meter. The pyrometer used to determine the temperature of PV panel, while the solar irradiance meter used for the irradiance of sun ray. So for the method of collecting data photovoltaic system, there are few aspects that we see, which is the first one, the condition of PV panel. It need to be swapped for every time that data need to be taken, and also the weather, either it's sunny, cloudy, or rainy. While the parameters that we take for the collection data is the temperature of solar panel, the solar irradiance, PV output voltage, PV output current, PV daily energy, and total PV energy. And also for the collection data, it will repeat it thrice a day for 7 weeks period, which is from 9 a.m., 12 noon, and also 5 p.m. So for the data used in analyzing the performance of photovoltaic system for this project, we decide to use the data on 2 January 2023 on 12 noon, which is the solar irradiance is quite high, which is this to ensure the weather and solar irradiance are at the highest point that has been collected. So for the computational method for analyzing performance of photovoltaic system, we use three methods, which is the first one is acceptance ratio, second one energy performance index, and the third one is final system yield. Which is for the acceptance ratio, the ratio of an actual power to predict power, while the energy performance index is a parameter used to appraise or examine the building energy efficiency, while for the third one, final system yield is quantity of energy generated by the system per unit capacity. So moving on to preliminary result. As you can see, this is data of photovoltaic system that we have taken for 50 days, which is equals to 7 weeks of period. And for the highlighted one is the data that we choose for the computational method. And this the calculations on performance of photovoltaic system by using computational method, which is for the acceptance ratio. We do get the 276.4463 from calculation. And for the acceptance ratio, we get 0.134, which is quite low than expected, because for the system to working efficiently, it is supposed to be 1 and above for the value of acceptance ratio. While the energy power index, the expected energy output is 276.4463, and then the energy power index that we get is 69.0, which is low than 90%, which is quite low than we expected. It is because it depends on the acceptance ratio, which is can be seen is lower than the expected value. And for the final system yield, we calculate two final system yield, which is for the measured and for the expected. So for the measured, we do get 226.0, while the expected final system yield, we get 328.553. So lastly, for the future plan, for the final year project 2, this following tasks will be conducted, which is to develop email application by using AGI platform. And the second one is to test the email application and also compare the result between computational method and developed application. So upon completion, the task that should be fulfilled is as the following, which is the mail application will be able to calculate when parameters are being inserted, and also the application will be able to give feedback by display the desired data and value. That's all from my presentation. Thank you.